So the reasons for telling you something is always going to come into play. You will be hyper aware or sensitive to the reasons for telling you something. Like, is it gloating? Are you gaslighting? Or just all these different reasons? Because the missile strike in Israel, it was designed for only to show a message to the people that needed to see it. And if you didn't know, that it was just a demonstration of war games. Hypersonic missiles was the whole point. They're showing you the economic efficiency of throwing a bunch of useless rockets and drones in the air, letting everybody see a spectacle. And it's adrenaline, and they feel all these things. But meanwhile, over this air base housing Su-27s or something, they want to demonstrate that they could hit. And that was the whole point, is that they were showing off that they had received some hypersonic missiles that people didn't know that could end up in the hands in freaking Lebanon or Hezbollah or something, because it was coordinated. So they're saying, yeah, they're just saying that we're allowing these guys to demonstrate that they can effectively use hypersonic missiles, and that they can filtrate down to those people, and they'll get the training and they'll use it effectively. They hit the target, bing, bom, boom. You get to know what we want you to know. Meanwhile, we're placating everybody, because everybody, they don't care whether they think the sky is falling or if they have like superior confidence that we watched everything get blown up. So they're not going to try that. We showed them something like this time. But your very own leaders that is giving you this feeling like we showed them something, they're like, okay, all right, so we'll just go to the next play in the book, because they don't really have an emotional attachment or ploy to this. It's like, who do you think is going to survive the betrayal? If you already want to see them attack, you don't attack until you're already betrayed. You don't really have to attack until you've already betrayed, until you've already been betrayed. Who do you want to see attack? It depends on what valuation that you place on mainstream hysteria, and just the little demonstrating that we have a technology. This is a war game. You don't see that people buying tickets and showing up and sitting in the stands can also be traumatized. So then you must think that then you're really susceptible to all this propaganda shit. You wouldn't think that the leaders that these people put on the pedestal would be like having a second personality, or like a public and a private persona or something. It's like, why do they need a public and a private persona? Do they have to be able to do something different with both of them? Are they trying to tell us because how come they had to tell us? Why didn't they just let us be suspicious of them? They could never let you be suspicious. They had to come out and tell you. Because then that way they can hold something over you, that you give them the energy, and you kind of promote them. Like, you start thinking that they're cool. Like, basically, if I say that you drop the ball, then we must be on the same team. Otherwise, if you drop the ball, then that's wonderful. I can jump on that, dive on top of the ball. Your team will not be able to get it. The buzzer, the little ring, you have to set the score or something. The play, so it's in your advantage. So it's not that team, it's your team. It's a different team. It's simple. Just simple. But, we need to play things up to be spooky and dooky logic. Then it has to make more sense than reality. And the things in reality you think is brainwashing at the same time. Like energy channels and disembodied and stuff. Like, the reason why you don't play with Ouija boards, because you could go about it a more intelligent approach. Just like the warning that you get in war games, if you don't acknowledge that you got killed, then you need like a flag or a thing to ping or let you know that you got hit, like paintballs. Something has to register that you exposed yourself in a way that allowed you to come under fire in a theater, so that you're assuming that you're already dead. I'm not just gonna assume I'm already dead. Like, you're cheating. You're fucking up the war games. We have to make the enemy imagine the theater or the field of war could never evolve into whatever it's going to become. So if you have wherewithal and common sense, then I gotta gaslight that, because that might be able to see how the evolution of clandestine and attrition, and you can't even see how these things are supposed to be angled at you. You can't, like, because they're showing us a bread and circus. So you're not supposed to be able to see, because if you've seen somebody out there struggling under pressure, then you're not supposed to be able to support them. You're supposed to go out there and say that they ain't done nothing. Like, you ain't really holding the line. So we don't even blur the line of what holding the line is, so that we blur the line of what holding the line is. That way you can get everything twisted. You can see everything reverse, and the people that actually are intelligent must seem like they're totally lunacy or something. Saying everything backwards. And that shouldn't be anything that I'm saying, like, because, like, I'm not always on the side of good. Like, you always want to think that you're gonna be on the side of good, but you don't always end up on the side of good. So in instances where you're human, don't save humanity. Just recognize that it's hysterical folly, right? The word humanity means colored man. It doesn't mean your skin color. It means emotionally. You become hysterical. You become spirited. And it's folly, and it's imbalance, and it's futile, and it shouldn't be saved. It shouldn't be rescued. They try to equate that with not caring about mankind or something. No, I want to see everybody rich and fucking prosperous and living like, you want for yourself or whatever. The golden rule, whatever. But humanity and mankind's not the same thing. It means what it sounds like. It means hysterical, folly. That's the word for folly and the word for hysterical. So I'm not brainwashing nobody. That's what it means. I mean, we're the ones that are we're compromising some kind of algebraic value, like you put on something like a placeholder for the value. We're compromising a placeholder, the calculus. So it makes you calculus with it, because it wants to be calculating against us. So it has to incorporate us into, as much as possible, the acquiescence and being as unworthy, so that it can get the whatever value that you're forfeiting, whatever power that you're giving forfeit, because you're not worthy. You can give it over to an enemy, because they're not really an enemy if they only doing what they had no choice. That's what happens. It's like, it could start out that they are perniciously vindictive or insidious and sinister and encroaching and plotting and everything, but if they get one over on you to where you go along with the modus operandi, like it's the order of the day, then you like this sort of thing, then you're saying that's good, then it's almost like they never happen. And the one that needs to be exposed and scrutinized would become the one that keep repeating the action if they say that they're fighting against it or something. Like they say, this is bad, you should never do this, this is what we want to see upended or whatever, but then they're going around and making deals like what's it called, an emissary who's like well paid and working clandestinely or as an agent, like a secret, you can have emissaries that take risks that that everybody knows who they are and where they can find them if they ever have a problem with them. Then if they are your emissary, then that puts them in danger and at risk. So you could say that is somebody who's really effectively potent, like doing like your best, like truest form of representation. What about somebody who's paid to be obscurist and arcane and clandestine? You wouldn't need their services. How to get you to take a dime for $1, you can accept it, and then you would have that over you.